Hey everybody, real quick. We my voice started going out later in this video. I just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time. We had played, I believe the game is called Replaced, the demo for it. We read a lot of the stuff in there. We did the Huddleful Boyfriend playthrough and my voice was just going after all that reading. And after reading in this game for over 2 hours or so, I started losing my voice. So just letting you know ahead of time, and I hope you enjoy the video. That is right, everybody. We are still playing romance games this weekend. It is the weekend of love, and we are playing a free-to-play game on Steam, I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. I remember when this game came out back in 2019, and I remember seeing a lot of people going, this looks so funny, that they just had to play it. All right, now that everything's been typed, we are ready to go. Everything's been updated for the Twitch chat. My name. Tired. We got biscuits and drumsticks. You sleep softly as the morning sun casts a warm glow through the window of your modest student apartment. Place looks nice, and I like the AC unit above the bed. Is that a chicken? It is. Is this a reference to something? What's this? A menu. The world is peaceful and serene. You could stay in the moment forever. Or you could wake up now. Your first day of culinary school is no time to sleep in. Smack that clock up and at 'em. Throw the clock out the window and stay in bed forever. You slept through the school year and gave up on the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet Colonel Sanders. Game over already. You might not be cut off for this. I give up. Oh, and it starts right back at the beginning. Yeah, it started with the KFC Presents, but it wasn't capturing the cover for some reason. Smack that clock up and at 'em. Lying in bed, you stare at the ceiling, thinking about everything that awaits you at the prestigious University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning. Your mind begins to wander. Who will be there? What will you cook? What should you wear? Time begins to fly by, and you find your imagination getting away from you. I need to take this seriously. I'd better make sure to arrive prepared for the first day. You bust through the morning checklist. Teeth brushed, hair combed, pits deodorized. Nothing can stop you now. You confidently grab a biscuit, strut out the door, and head off to class. Just what you needed to get your blood flowing. I did see when we loaded up the game, it said Psyop. I guess one of the developers or whatever. And I'm like, is this a psyop to get people to just go to KFC? Standing in the quad, you gaze upon the magnificent University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning. What a great name. Here comes your lifelong best friend forever, Miriam? Miriam. She's the most adorably awkward person you've ever met, and you absolutely love her for it. Good morning, Tired. Are you excited for the first day of the rest of our lives? Actually, because I sure am. Excited and a little nervous. Okay. A lot nervous. It's just that this morning I made breakfast for myself, but, well, when I ate it, I couldn't taste any love in the food. What if I'm no good? What if I fail? Classic Miriam. Raised by MasterChef parents, she's always held herself to a very high standard. Ever since we were little babies playing together and you rescued me from that quicksand box, it's been clear to me that you're the most loving, caring person I know. You're going to do great. Sorry. But with University of Cooking School Academy for Learning's famous 3-day only semesters, 3-day only semesters? I'm afraid of being left behind and never catching up. That is crazy. Also, do we have to say the whole name of the place? A sweet girl, Miriam has always had a flair for the dramatic. This summer, she got so nervous about her first kiss that she chipped a tooth practicing on a mannequin. Should you pep talk her or change the subject to give her some relief? I'll pep talk. Remember last month when we saw that fortune teller and had our tarot cards read? The lady with the mask who gave me nightmares? I've been trying to forget. I know she looked spooky, but she was so sweet. And she told you that you were destined for great things. Remember that card with the fancy looking tower? And that other card featuring the handsome fellow in the red suit? I've been waiting for so long to meet a handsome fellow I could call my own. And I'm sure you will soon. In no time we'll be graduating, and you'll be delighting the world with your heartfelt cooking in no time at all. As you talk Miriam up, you can feel her nerves beginning to ease. You know what? Maybe everything will be okay after all, and if not, at least I have these killer bangs. Can you believe I cut them myself? You can definitely believe it. I cannot believe it. Before you get another word out, you're rudely interrupted when someone smacks your books and custom engraved measuring spoons out of your hands and onto the ground. Hey! It's Ashley. If she's like supposed to be an asshole, then that's an asshole way of spelling Ashley. It's Ashley, your arch rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help but be filled with jealousy. She can get anything she wants and she knows it. Hello, Ashley. Are those drumsticks on your thighs? What? Oh, I didn't see you there, chicken shins. You leave tired shins alone. They are perfectly normal shins. Ugh. You can't stand Ashley. Even her name is annoying. Hell yeah, it is. You know for a fact that it's actually Ashley, but she had to add extra letters to make herself feel better than everyone. If anyone here knows what perfect shins look like, it's us. We're not going to let you or your really weird insults get to us. Across the quad, you see Ashley's best friend, Van the man, has stopped to look at his own reflection in the mirror. His pants are so tight you can see him casually working out his glutes while he styles his hair. No lie, they're rockin' glutes. Van? You rang. That's fucking crazy outfit. And hair, Jesus. You've never been sure what their arrangement is, but as long as you've known them, Ashley and Van have just been as close as you and Miriam, but substantially more devious. I can't believe that the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning would ever allow people like you to attend as students. I know, right? You think they'd just hand us our diplomas now. Or maybe hire us on as professors. You amateurs could learn a lot from us. With the first day of school about to start, there's just no time to properly tell these two off, so you resist the urge. Let's go, Miriam. See you later, losers. As you approach the door, you see a goofy-looking kid pushing hard against the window directly next to it. Oh no. Oopsies. I think it's broken. You reach forward and easily pull the door open. That should do the trick. I love you. I think you mean thank you? My name is Pop. I was named after my Pop. He's old. Could someone like this also be a student at the school? He must be one heck of a chef. Also, his name tag clearly says Bob, but I guess he's reading it upside down. Hi, Pop. I'm tired, so... Are you gonna make me hold this door all day? Why is my name all caps and no one else's? Nope. And with that, the young man walks into the building ahead of you. Is it just me, or is he kinda cute? I think it's just you. You both shrug your shoulders before following him into the building. You stand at the edge of the room, unsure where to sit. Other students wander in and keep themselves busy chit-chatting. A scruffy-looking pooch takes his place at the podium at the front of the class. Adorable. Now, quiet down, everyone. Who is this unreasonably cute pup, and why is he in our culinary class? You must be Sprinkles, head instructor and CEO of UCS AL. Thank goodness we abbreviated it. Please, call me Professor Dog. I may be cute and little and fluffy, but I still demand respect. Woof. What? A cute dog is our professor? This is the best school ever. I guess only a dog's nose is capable of picking up all the nuances of fine dining. Out of nowhere, wind begins to rush around you as a swirl of cherry blossom petals fill the air inside the classroom. I'm chilly. Someone close the window. And then he walks in. How do I... Hold on. I wish there was a button to get rid of the text. You're immediately swept up in the aura of this new student and his remarkable goatee. Who knew anyone could be so handsome? Time stands still. It's him. If it isn't my favorite student, Harland. Colonel Sanders interrupts Sprinkles. Sorry, Professor Dog, before he can finish his sentence. Please, call me Colonel. Colonel Sanders. A hushed murmur rolls through the classroom as Colonel Sanders walks down the aisle of desks. Suddenly, the room is sweltering. Sweat begins to bead across your brow. You feel like everyone is looking at you, and you're not entirely wrong. And this over here must be Sweaty Sweats-a-Lot. Maybe we should open the window back up before our faucet pit melts into a puddle and evaporates entirely. Hold on just a second. Nobody talks to my friend like that. To be fair, Van's the only one I feel like I can really put a voice on for. You two both know my name. We were in the same kindergarten class. And what is with all of your really weird insults? Besides, when Tired sweats, it's not gross, it's beautiful. Look at that shimmer. You take a moment to clean yourself up. I gotta clean myself up after seeing Colonel Sanders. It's a good thing you didn't forget about that deodorant this morning. This classroom is hot, hot, hot. Professor Dog steps in to settle the class down and set some ground rules. Welcome to University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. The greatest culinary academy in the world. The birthplace of culinary legends, past, present, and future. Many challenges await you. There will be tears, there will be blood. There might even be really adorable tiny food. And when all is said and done, there will be a battle. You will lift your sporks and compete in the broom cooking arena. Just then, another student enters the classroom and interrupts the professor's rousing speech. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. I hope everyone had a good summer. I really miss... Quiet. Late to class is bad enough, but interrupting my monologue. You're on the fast track out of here, young man. Are you sure you're even in the right place? Don't you recognize me? This is my 3rd year in this school with you as my teacher. Everyone stares at him blankly. Does no one remember me? You're expelled. If you utter one more word before I finish. Let that be a lesson to you students that tardiness is unacceptable. Even Clank made it here on time, rolling halfway across town on his tiny wheels. You turn to see the student Sprinkles is referencing, who appears to be some sort of industrial kitchen appliance. Your name's Clank? Oh no. The class burst into laughter. Oh, Clank, you rascal. Sprinkles walks in the classroom as everyone stands in silent obedience. When he gets to you, he lifts his nose into the air and takes a deep sniff. Your diet is lacking. Based on what I'm picking up here, you definitely need a multivitamin. You should be taking better care of yourself. You've never had a talking dog as a teacher before, but Sprinkles' reputation for being smart but tough is well known. You decide to try and butter him up by giving him a treat from your pocket, but what kind? Rubber ball? You reach beneath your apron and return with a rubber ball in your hand. Sprinkles' eyes go wide as he locks onto it. You toss the ball and he bounds after it, grabbing it in his mouth and swinging it from side to side before dropping it. The thrill passes quickly. It's not clear if that endeared you to him or not. Settle down, young chefs. Take your seats and prepare to have your minds opened to the amazing possibilities of culinary creation. As everyone rushes to claim their favorite seats, you're left standing at the front of the room. Only 2 options remain. Hey, Tyre, there's still a seat here. It seems that no one has claimed the seat next to me, if you're interested. 2 good options, but which will you choose? Colonel Sanders or best friend? I'm gonna get a drink before we make this ultimate decision. I also need a drink. We have been talking so much. We just finished Hot to Full Boyfriend. So I'm like, in need of a drink. Alrighty, everyone, I'm back and I got my drink. I'm gonna sit by my best friend though. And I forgot to put us back on the main screen. Whoops. So Colonel Sanders disappeared. You moved to take your seat by Miriam. I'm so glad to have you near me to support me through this class. Of course, you're my best friend. Who else would I sit by? Colonel Sanders? He has such a magnetic personality. There's a seat open right next to him. If you had sat there, you might have gotten to know him a little better. I'd never sacrifice our friendship. Besides, I'm sure I'll get a chance to talk to him later in the semester. I've got 3 whole days. That's like a lifetime. So you say. But now that Miriam mentions it, that Colonel Sanders is just so darn dreamy. As soon as you've settled into your seat, the professor makes an announcement. Think fast. It's time for a pop quiz. Yay, a quiz about me. This incredibly important and surprisingly short quiz will tell me if you are ready for life at culinary school. Keep your knife sharp and your focus sharper. Here comes question 1. If train A is traveling to point B and train B is traveling to point A, how important is it to wash your hands before cooking? Extremely. Looking at you, Pop. That's right. Forest is to tree as chicken is to feather? That's right. What is the most efficient eating utensil ever created? A spork? That's right. A spoon and a fork. What food is best for a broken heart? With love and not too much salt? Yeah. Anything. Prepared with love and not too much salt. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, Sprinkle's a good boy. The talking dog that teaches you at culinary school. He's a talking dog that teaches at culinary school. Is the best boy. That's right. Your total score is perfect score, 5 out of 5. Wow, be honest. Did you cheat? You look up. to see Colonel Sanders has been watching you tally your score. He's impressed. I know we just met, but I have to confess, I think you have a beautiful brain. Hot diggity tired, you just scored some major Colonel Sanders points with that performance. May I have your attention, students? I have an important announcement to make. Time for lunch. Wow, the cafeteria is as nice as any restaurant you've ever eaten at. Makes sense that a school dedicated to cooking would also be serious about eating. A delicious fragrance wafts through the room and tickles the end of your nose. Your mouth waters. Do you smell that? That must be our lunch. It smells crazy good. Everyone, can I have your attention? Is it about lunch? No, I just wanted to apologize for my tardiness. You see, I was... Howdy, folks. I'd like to make an announcement. Hey, I was... He looked angry over that. It's about lunch. Everyone cheers, but I... Lunch, lunch, lunch. She said, shh. In honor of the new semester, I have prepared something special to share with everyone for lunch. That must be the smell I smelled. Indeed, that smell. You hold your breath, waiting to see what food this mysterious student has created. You've heard that he's very talented, but were the rumors true? Is this? Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head. Its contents glimmer in the light. Piled high are huge pieces of chicken, breaded and fried to a crispy golden finish. The aroma envelops you, and you begin to feel warm and safe. Oh my god. This is a psyop for KFC. Just saying that this great smell of a KFC chicken bucket makes you feel warm and safe. Colonel Sanders has filled a bucket with chicken? What a novel concept. Your stomach begins to grumble, as if to say, stop thinking and start eating. For years, I have been developing a secret recipe for the perfect fried chicken. By my calculation, nothing less than 11 herbs and spices are required to achieve the perfect balance of flavors. You look around and notice that every other student has a pen and paper and is scribbling notes as fast as they can. But that's all I'll say about that. What? Alright, hold on. What? You think we want your stupid secret recipe, dude? Pshaw. Nah, my dude. Nah. I'm just, drafting a last will and testament in case, one of those ingredients is, poison. Got him. He looks around nervously to see if anyone else is laughing at his sick burn. You wait to see what zinger Ashley has prepared to follow up, but she suddenly takes a different approach. Yeah, and I was just, like, writing in my diary. Dear diary, today I smelled something beautiful. I knew at that moment that only the hands of a true gentleman could fry chicken so tender. You see her body language change from bitter and evil to sweet and innocent as she slides closer to Colonel Sanders. She realizes that he is destined for greatness and fame with cooking skills like this. She wants him all to herself. Oh, please. Well, Van, the man, if you don't want any, I'll take his. Whoa, hold on. I guess I'll try it. He takes one bite and his eyes grow wide. He starts contorting his face as he tries to hold in his pure exhilaration and act unimpressed. Easy now. There is enough for everyone. Please, my fellow classmates, dig in. You take one of the pieces of fried chicken out of this bucket and sink your teeth into it. It's amazing. Tasting Colonel Sanders' food transports you to another dimension. Alone with your taste buds gripping a drumstick in your hand, you float weightlessly. I'll savor the moment and everything that it tells you about Colonel Sanders' culinary heart. The flavors in your mouth are beautiful, pure, heavenly. What a guy. Alone with the flavors, you feel something that can only be described as love. For a man? For a flavor? Are they the same? After tasting his food, you try to get some one-on-one time with Colonel Sanders. You approach him. Colonel Sanders smiles ever so softly as you approach. He stops what he is doing and allows you to break the silence. Colonel, I wondered if I could talk to you for a second. Anything for a fellow chef. What exactly was on that chicken? How bold to come out and ask. It's an idea. He has a staff with a chicken on it? Or a scepter? A staff? It's an idea I had for a new combination of flavors that will make me my fortune and establish my legacy for all times as I open a chain of highly successful fried chicken restaurants. No big deal. It's just you and me here talking. I can keep a secret. In fact, I've got some of my own that I'd be willing to trade. What's the rush? The semester is only getting started. We've got 2 more whole days to get to know each other. Oh, that face. He's like, ugh, whatever. He's clearly not going to give it up easily, but it doesn't hurt to be persistent. You know what they say about secrets, Colonel. Shouldn't learning be fun? You've got moxie, I'll give you that. Colonel Sanders looks both ways to make sure you're truly alone and then leans in. You can feel his warm breath as he whispers. Just one ingredient, but you can't tell. I use is something my great-grandmother taught me. Wow, you never have guessed that. In fact, you're not even sure where you'd get some if you searched. Damn, they're really not going to tell us what herbs and spices are in a Kentucky Fried Chicken chicken. I'm sure someone's already figured out the recipe, you know? People have probably researched it and been like, yeah, it's these, but you know. While you're wrapped up in that huge revelation, you notice that Colonel Sanders has disappeared. While everyone else is still in the cafeteria, you decide to look for him. You find Colonel Sanders outside, standing in the quad. Oh, it's you again. Howdy. My throat has been, going dry recently. Sometimes I like to come outside and look at the school buildings. I think about how my story will continue on after I've graduated. It sounds like you have big plans. I dare say the biggest. I will leave my mark on this world, you can bet on that. Alone together for the first time, you figure now is the perfect moment to show your personality to him. Yes, be modest and thoughtful. Some hearts appeared, is that good? Well, I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoyed your food. Now you've got his attention. The flavors were complex, but comforting. The interplay between salty, savory, and peppery. It was perfect. I appreciate the compliments, Tired. I'm sure you'll be a big success. I know we've only met today, but I'm starting to get the same feeling about you. We should head back inside. The next lesson starts soon. Oh, wow. That looks crazy. You step into the massive cooking arena where the afternoon lesson will take place. Each student gets an oven and all the tools and ingredients they could need. Look at this place. It's magnificent. Finally, we get to show our stuff. Wait a second. Oh no, we have to show our stuff. What if I totally blow it? You're not gonna blow anything. Except maybe kisses to the crowds of fans you're gonna earn with your signature, adorable tiny food creations. Welcome, students, to the cooking arena. For today's lesson, we'll be cooking with partners. Hurry up and pair off. Naturally, Miriam looks at you, but unable to control yourself, you pounce on Colonel Sanders. Oh, I pounce on Colonel Sanders? Hey, Colonel, would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? A team of two, that is. Me and you, if that wasn't clear. Want to be my partner? Aww. Sure, Tired. I'll prepare our station. Without you as a partner, Miriam is left standing all alone. Two different students quickly take notice. Hello, new partner. Beep boop. Bzz. Oh my, two potential partners. I'm so sorry, gentlemen, but I don't know who to choose. It looks like you'll have to pick for her. Friend duties can be a little awkward, but that's the price you pay for not being alone forever. Who do you want to ask to be Miriam's partner? I don't want to pick Pop, I'll pick Clank. Sorry, Pop, I think Miriam will be partnering with Clank today. It's okay, I already ate. It's not entirely clear if Pop has any idea what the point of school even is at this juncture. Clank is clearly excited to have some attention. He heats up and begins to roll back and forth. Warp, warp, warp. Hold on there, fella. We don't even know the assignment yet. Technically, Clank might not have a face, but there's something charming and earnest about him. Bzz. Tissue? I hardly know you. Clank judders and panels shake loose. You get the impression that this is a sign of affection. Looks like you two will be fine. Now it's time to focus on your own cooking classwork. Alright, you two. For today's lesson, we're going to keep it simple. Pick a basic dish and divide up the steps. No chef is an island. It takes 2 flints to make a fire. You get the idea. Which dish do you suggest to your partner, Colonel Sanders? Steak tartare seems easy enough. It's fancy, you don't even need to cook it. Using octopus will blow Colonel Sanders' mind. Your grandmother's mashed potatoes and gravy. Wait a second. KFC, mashed potatoes and gravy? It's got to be that one, right? I've always been something of a down-home chef. I was thinking we could make something warm, inviting, comforting. And hearts did appear, so he must have been cool with that. Maybe mashed potatoes and gravy. I couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a coy look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. I'll go get the potatoes. No, please. Let me. Picking produce is a passion of mine. Picking perfect produce. Looks like things are getting pretty fresh around here. Does someone have a crush on Colonel Sanders? We're just cooking partners. Mind your own business. Sanders' heart is my business. You'd better keep your fingers off my man. That actually makes me think of when I was in high school, my freshman year. I didn't go to the school that all my middle school friends went to. I went to a different one. So I was around a whole group of new people and I just didn't know who to be friends with. I found one person and he and I talked and it seemed like we were cool, you know? And we had quite a few classes together. So we're like, oh, we'll just hang out with each other and just talk. But this girl invited me over to her group. And she was very sweet, you know? But around lunchtime, apparently she was like, oh my gosh. And she told me this later, that when we were in class, she looked over and was like, oh my gosh, she looks like a vampire. I want to invite him over. She was really into Twilight at the time. And I guess that's why. And the guy that was over there too was like, no. Just didn't want her talking to other guys. But when I ended up in lunch, that guy came over and was like, hey, don't talk to my girlfriend. Don't hit on her kind of thing. That's my girlfriend. I was like, I wasn't hitting on anyone and I apologize if it came off that way. So I went to her later and I said, hey, I'm sorry if I came off as hitting on you. That wasn't my intention. Your boyfriend was letting me know. And she goes, my boyfriend? I go, yeah, whatever his name was. She goes, that's not my boyfriend. We're not dating. And I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy. This dude's claiming somebody without actually dating them. That guy was like a huge asshole that thought so highly of himself. Like in high school, I think he threatened to end me. And I was like, oh no. And this was getting, I think, around senior year or junior year of high school. And I remember we were all at like a little pep rally thing, and he was trying to be cool and like, I guess doing like a stanky leg thing, but he popped his knee out of place and was like screaming. And, you know, they had to they pulled an ambulance through. We all parted ways and he got in and you could hear his screaming, I guess from them trying to put it back in place. In the back of my head, I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck this guy. Did someone call for me? Ugh, no. Jeez, Van Van. While I'm over here crushing tired stream, you're supposed to be taking care of our classwork. That was the deal, remember? Colonel Sanders returns, arms full of peeled potatoes. He tosses them into boiling water and turns his attention to you and your old friends. Oh, howdy there, Ashley. Van Van. Are we working in a quartet instead of a duet now? Actually, no. Looks like Tired was struggling, so we offered to give them a hand. You know how it is. These young amateur chefs need a lot of mentoring. I was going to say, Colonel Sanders, maybe I could also teach you a thing or two about fancy food. Maybe one day you might be able to get up to my level. Doubt it. Don't be rude, Van Van. Personally, I have no doubts whatsoever about Colonel Sanders' ability to concoct creations worthy of admiration. After all, your fried chicken was quite spectacular. But Colonel, if you ask me, I might make a better partner for you than this thing that has positioned itself at your station. Oh, he's angry at that. Don't you feel deep down that we cast complementary shadows? We fit together, like a thigh and a drumstick. It just makes sense. Nothing about this makes sense, but one thing is clear. She's coming for Colonel if you don't watch out. Ashley is really going at you hard. You need to ask for some backup here before things get ugly. Turn to Colonel Sanders' hunk of hunks in your time with me. Turn to Miriam, your forever bestie who always had your back. I think Sanders is on my side. I'm here to learn and express myself via my cuisine, not bicker with prima donnas. Partners were chosen at the beginning of class, so let's all respect the format, okay? You turn to Colonel Sanders to confirm that you're on the same page. I choose Colonel Sanders, and Colonel Sanders chose me. Isn't that right? A businessman respects all fair agreements, from contracts to handshakes. I took on Tired as my partner for this activity, and I stand by it. Based on your team's behavior, I'd say you're perfect for each other. Neither of you has Tired's natural talent or their loyalty. Being defended by Colonel Sanders leaves you feeling proud and full of potential. You look for Sprinkles and hope that he might step in, but he's nowhere to be found. Darn those cute corgis and their short but sturdy stature. You look down at your station and realize, in the tension of the moment, your hands have been cooking on autopilot. Distracted by the drama, you've already crushed the boiled potatoes into a perfectly creamy mash texture with plenty of butter and cream for flavor. It's as if your natural passion guided you through the steps you know so well while your attention was elsewhere. I know just what to do. Colonel Sanders extends his hand. He's holding a beautiful white porcelain gravy boat, out of which pours a smooth brown gravy smothering your nearly finished potato dish. Gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes. The results look spectacular. Granny would be very proud. I like eating mashed potatoes. I don't particularly like gravy. I think it just depends on how the gravy is made. I would have to, I guess, try. I don't think I've ever had a gravy mashed potatoes from KFC. Holy, is this making me want to try KFC again? I don't remember the last time I even had any. Colonel Sanders holds a spork out to you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. The two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that small moment, all the madness and pressure in this crazy world stops. I'm losing my train of thought as we're talking. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric. Time stands still. If you love something, set it free. Together, you dig the utensil into the mashed potatoes and lift a heaping sporkful up when you see Ashley with a sinister look. You know she's plotting against you to be with Colonel Sanders. And then filled with rage and without thinking, you fling a sporkful of mashed potatoes right into Ashley's stupid, beautiful face. Van, do something! Do something! Scooping up a fingerful, Van tastes the dripping mashed potatoes and gravy and realizes that it's delicious. Horrified by this revelation, he slinks away. Will he ever be able to cook something with so much love and integrity? Hold on right there, Tired. We do not waste food in the broom cooking arena. Colonel Sanders, I expect better from you. If you throw one more spoonful, you'd both better be prepared to eat it from wherever it lands. Can I has potatoes face? Van rushes back over a covered dish in his hand. Jesus, on an axe? Mashed potatoes with gravy. Pathetic. In just a few minutes, I prepared a full meal. Gaze upon my specialty, braised tentacle of octopus with my silky saltwater sauce, plated on a battle axe blade forged by my supreme chef ancestors. You've ignored me for too long. That ends now. It is I who will have first bite, and you will all look on with envy. The interrupting student rushes at Van and swipes a bit of his signature dish right off the plate. No, don't! Something about this dish doesn't strike my nose quite right. I think the octopus was rushed and may have turned in the process. The results could be toxic. Too late. It has been eaten. Did he eat it? I think I left something in the oven. I don't feel so good. It killed him! Oh my god. Everyone step back. Don't take another bite. When you look back at the plate, the rest of it is gone. You notice the tip of the tentacle being slurped up in Pop's mouth. Pop winces in pain for just a moment, then is almost immediately back to his oblivious self. Oopsie. Tastes like poison. The entire class has gathered to watch Pop's final moments. Shock has frozen the whole crowd. They are as motionless as statues. The class bell rings, disrupting the moment and snapping everyone back to reality. It would appear that Pop's enthusiasm for trying new things, despite obvious danger, has inoculated him against poisons of all kinds. I'm not sure the professors here make enough money. Hello, I just turned into a ghost over here. Seeing that you're shaken up by that really annoying student and all his nonsense, Colonel Sanders approaches you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Please, let me walk you home. What? Like for real? Oh, come on. You follow Colonel Sanders out of the room. I'm losing my voice. Okay, let's keep going. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark and more than a little spooky. Colonel Sanders stands in the quad's neon glow and speaks softly. Those mashed potatoes you made in class today? Before you go on, I want you to know they're not a great representation of my skills. I didn't even realize I was making them. They were amazing. Tasting them, it reminded me why I became so passionate about food to begin with. Colonel Sanders is getting choked up. Cooking is obviously important to him in a way that you find inspiring. Now might be the perfect time to tell him you're developing feelings for him. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Tired? There's something I need to tell you. Hold it right there. There's something I need to tell you first. Oh, geez. You see, when I was just a boy, I had a dream that one day I would be the greatest chef the world has ever seen. And every day since, I have been working toward that dream, day and night, never stopping, never resting. Also, lifting a lot of weights, like so many weights. We should follow our dreams with all our hearts, that our souls may grant them like wishes floating on a shooting star. Hey, no, you. Shut up. I'm the one here to say inspirational stuff and be the star of the story. Are we forgetting that your cooking literally killed a guy? You can't prove that. I also saw you kill that guy. What was his name? Somewhere in the distance, you hear a long, sad sigh. Forget him. We're talking about me. Me. I'm the hero. Excuse me? The spork monster is here to fight the hero. I think I left the fridge door open. Later, nerds. How dare you threaten me as I was letting down my guard and connecting with another chef on an emotional level. Be afraid. Be very afraid of me. Because I'm a monster, see? Is he rhyming on purpose, or is that just a coincidence? But before you can discuss syntax any further, it's a turn-based fight sequence. What will you do? Defend? And then Colonel Sanders will protect me. You decide to defend. Which defense will you choose? Trepidation? You close your eyes tight, but then open one just enough to squint and see Spork Monster across the battlefield. For some reason, this makes you feel more prepared for what comes next. Spork Monster goes on the attack. They spit hot gravy at you. You take 1 damage. Fat lot of good that defense did. Defend. Buff up. You think about that feeling you get after having a good meal, when you're so full and happy that nothing can get you down. Like food in your belly. Just the thought warms you and you grow stronger. Spork Monster is really feeling emboldened by your lack of attacks. Spork Monster focuses their mashed mind and draws in energy from Mother Earth itself. They grow larger and more intimidating. How will you respond? If I keep defending, does it stack? You decide to defend. What will you use? Buff up? You draw energy into your arms, thinking back on all of the stirring you did in the kitchen as a child. Your muscles grow super swole and you're ready to take on anything. Spork Monster is no quitter. Buffed up and ready to rumble, they go on the attack once again. Spork Monster uses Utilitensol. You take 2 damage from the attack. If you take much more damage, you're not going to survive the battle. Defend? You decide to defend. I buff up again. No one can control this much buffness. You start to feel bloated and quite frankly a little gassy. Better attack sooner, you're likely to explode. Oh, I do go on the attack. Cook with love. Does 1 damage. Spork Monster is oozing cheese sauce onto the lawn of the quad. I wonder who is going to clean this up. Feeling vulnerable, press the ultimate attack, rounded edge. Vile villain, your reign of terror stops here. Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens? Hot pie power pinch. Oh. Hot pie power pinch. Oh no. Oh no, he's hot. Hot pie power punch does 10 damage. Sorry, my nose is starting to get like sniffly. I think it's the weather turning. Spork Monster is defeated. You saved me. An injured Spork Monster spews steam into the night. I'll spare this wretched beast. You manage to tamp down your disgust at the sight of this gnarly beast long enough to realize that he is still a living creature with a pure soul who deserves your pity, not your wrath. Be gone, beast, and don't you dare come back for a follow-up encounter tomorrow. I won't forget this. I certainly won't be back, like you said. Oh, excuse me. The spork monster scuttles off into the night. The defeated monster left behind a special item. It appears at first to be a cookbook, but upon closer inspection, it is so much more. It is a book of magic spells, with a golden chicken on the cover. You open the cover and find a library card tucked inside. The last name to have signed it out is Borko? Borko, that name sounds strangely familiar. Is that the student that no one can remember? Your blood is pumping as you stand in the quiet of the night, holding the mysterious book in your hands. As you come down from your battle buzz, you realize that your final attack has left you completely depleted. The world around you begins to fade away. Without any energy to keep your eyes open, darkness overtakes you. The image of Colonel Sanders flashes before your eyes as you fall asleep. He must have helped you get home. In your tired state, you don't know if you could have made it without him. What a guy. You want to thank him, but you don't have enough strength to utter a single word. You feel your covers being pulled up over you as you are tucked in tightly. Good night, my Colonel. In your dreams, you're together with Colonel Sanders. For some reason, Sprinkles is also there, instructing your love. Dreams are weird. He's a ghost. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spark monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, in love with Clank. I think I might like Clank. Like him? Like? I know it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in his high school? No, but that does make complete sense. Yeah, but he was so popular that he was voted prom king at a school he didn't even go to. It was also the convertible that he himself rode in at the front of the homecoming parade. He was the convertible? I'm thinking maybe something got lost in pressure cooker language translation there. Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, you're a thing now. We definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be interested in you, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that, a secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passion for spices, secret spices. Man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, I cooked with them. A very strange feeling came over me. The flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we've stayed in touch, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. Besides, I only know the one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be of much use to anyone. Please, 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 it would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you or from Colonel Sanders. I'm not gonna tell you. It's a secret, fake ingredient. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know. How about, it was Eye of Newt. I know, sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do? Eye of Newt, wow. Her eyes light up imagining such a thing. You figured you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone and you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. I will run to him. You decide that the best way to show Miriam how serious you and Colonel Sanders are would be to run to him. Surely he'll sweep you onto the back of his stallion and you'll ride away together. That'll show her. Good. Oh, Colonel, my Colonel. However, your sudden movement surprised the horse and it rears up, kicking you directly in the face. The force of the blow completely knocks you out cold. In the darkness, you see a vision. Ooh, tired. I am here to deliver you a message. Ghost of student is funny. Not this guy. It is important that you remember this exactly as I say it. If you forget, the world could end, so you know it's serious. I've been trapped in a realm beyond, but a great prophecy relies on my return. Only you can save me. All you need to do is repeat my name 3 times. And that name is... But before he can continue, you suddenly awake. Oh, jeez. You wake to find Colonel Sanders tending to you. He roused you back to life with a satchel of secret spices. Or is that just his natural seasoned musk? I will compliment the craftsmanship of his horse's shoes. Maybe he shouldn't be riding a horse to school, and maybe you shouldn't be running up to animals you don't know. It's hard to say who is in the wrong here. But one thing is for sure, that Colonel Sanders is pretty dreamy. That horse has beautiful shoes. I could really feel how smooth and sturdy they were when they were pressing into my face. That's nice to hear. No one truly appreciates good craftsmanship anymore. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your 2 rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way, they're hiding, and you know it must be. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad? You try to get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? I'm gonna act like I'm not interested and get a closer look, cause might be something dangerous. You sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van muttering something that sounds a bit like a magic spell. Do they have the book? Did I drop the book? However, he notices you eavesdropping. You try and cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class, and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules? I'm not sure you'd know a good meal if it ate you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. I don't know if I've ever seen the word panache spelled out before. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look at what it was they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it. It's the book, just like the one you found after your encounter with Spork Monster. That's the same book I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom, and the contents are secret. You notice that they haven't been studying the book. They've got what? You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing. Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Beep, beep. Plank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Bzz, womp. Who do you think you're talking to? I never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Bzz. Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least, or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. You try to give Sprinkles a pat on the head, but he snarls at you. Sorry, I get a little worked up if people try to pet me before I've had my morning coffee. Let that be a lesson to you. Sprinkles stops in his tracks and sniffs the air around you. Something has him in a trance. It's the scent left on you from Colonel Sanders. Sprinkles jumps on you and licks your face. Down, boy, down. Off toppin'. That command shouted by Colonel Sanders has snapped Sprinkles out of his trance. I wonder what's up with that. Sorry, I got a little carried away. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly you do. Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was the chicken who first signed their name. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders. And you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well tired? Naturally, this appears to be a sample platter. A dog biscuit? Because of the shape it's baked in, you assume the dog biscuit is a treat made by Sprinkles, an example of his culinary talents perhaps. You reach out for it when Sprinkles jumps up and bites onto your cooking apron. What kind of monster would steal a dog's favorite biscuit? Your apron is left in tatters. The entire class looks on in horror as you fall unconscious from the embarrassment. I never even got to taste it. Is this the end? You fade into darkness, but something is there. The Spork Monster? Sporko? What are you doing here? It's not your time, my friend. Your act of kindness has not been forgotten. Oh, that's nice. You watch as your apron magically repairs itself. You won't have to live in embarrassment anymore. Thank you, my friend, wherever you are. Which item do you want to sample? Glass of water. You You grab the glass of water and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp, like the purest snow melted by a mountain spring. Hey, that was mine. It was from my favorite toilet. You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. I'm not going to do the voice anymore. My voice is already going right now. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competitive cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. You're on. I'm gonna destroy you guys. A bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it. I'm not the fool, you're the fool. Fool. Good one, Van Van. I like your gumption, Tired. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkles steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now. Students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least, not until we turn on the timer. Just then, a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, "Timer ready." That's what I'm talking about. Aroo! I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now is my chance to shine. What the hell are you holding? Oh, like a butcher's cleaver with a chain heart trinket? I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one. And you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature of water? 100 degrees Fahrenheit? Sorry, I'd like to load. Oh. I hit the wrong one. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. What is it, 100 Celsius? What was the other option? Celsius. How would you have even gotten into the school without knowing that? Don't judge me. Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Fuck yeah, I'm doing this now. Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're gonna need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't even know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. Well, we have the one recipe, and he has 11 herbs and spices. That's right, you might not know all the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. Now that you've gotten some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. That might offers the most flavor. A gratitude? That's right, you must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. Better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Small town or big dreams. That's right, this is your shot, you're not going to miss it. Oh, that's right? Okay. Aroo! You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. What is the sound of success? Sizzling? That's wrong. Don't make me get the spray bottle. Really? Whatever. You know, fuck, I'm dying. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Tired. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. What are you thinking? Get your mind back into the competition? I'm sorry, I didn't know I had a choice right there. Brr. You are stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. What does that have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken and delicate baked biscuits? It's too short for me to pay attention. You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer as you do the crowd gasps. Ugh, yikes. Zzz. I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. Or you might not have any hands, but Tyre does. A good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by doing it the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand in the mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed. Tired, no. You're not fast enough, your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stop what you're doing right now, the battle is over. It can't be, I was this close to finishing my dish. Okay. Sweetheart, look at your hand, you simply can't go on. Oh, that's too bad, and here I was with a completed dish ready to serve. Really, that makes me the winner by default? No, it wouldn't be fair to compare you two on account of Tired's injury. He sprinkles, begins to lick his doggy chops as he looks onto the dish. Suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared. Because I'm the sweetest, I skip straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you find a wide array of delights. Did I fuck up by not choosing any options? I'm gonna ask Tyre to do the honor. Okay. Fuck that. I'm gonna get this right. I must have fucked up somewhere in there. There's no way I could lose.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
I guess that was always gonna happen. Okay, I guess I shouldn't have kept restarting then. My feeling was inside. Fried cheese croquette atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger in the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. Internalize the rage you feel. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash. They're both like, what the fuck? And they fall off of your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester. Perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. I, for some reason, thought if I got them all right, I would win. I guess I was wrong. I should have just let it play. A storm rages inside you. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. He won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure, I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician? I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. What? And I lost my innocence when I picked up a firearm and put a bullet in my rival? He survived, for a while anyhow. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together. Which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the spork monster. Borko? It is I. I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right? Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it. You were a human once? Well, no, I was a golden retriever, but I was still a student. Until one day, some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spellbook? Precisely, I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way, I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear, I will be there. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Tired? Together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss? A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like. It sounds like you're about to find out. Oh my god. The fuck? Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. I meant to pair it with something spicy, or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him, or keep it a secret just for you? I'll reveal it. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. It's so bright. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway? Is that how you say that? Magnificent. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. A candle? Excuse me. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Sorry, I just smacked my mic. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's blank. What is that? Must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel? It dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial, 111111 safe's open. You find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? No. Definitely not. Chicken? You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Ooh. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet. You find a row of signature white suits hanging within. You take one off the hanger and try it on. Jacket's a bit big for you. It's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug. Breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish for you that he has been working on. He wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. I'll tell him the truth. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. Oh, that's not what I thought would actually happen. I might be developing for you too. But I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, tired? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into slumber. Dream sequence. Zzz. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. How far are we right now? We're almost done. I just want to beat it in like one sitting so we can just put out the whole video. But I am like losing my voice. You know what? I think the first time we tried his chicken, I was supposed to do something else. And then I would have... I think I'm supposed to learn all 11 spices, herbs and spices. I might have fucked up somewhere. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast. Your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast. I just whipped it up. Okay. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? I'll flatter him. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Damn it, I probably did miss an ingredient. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings. You're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together, getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know someone. I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night it's just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You could tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dip, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, tired, suggesting I pick a fight on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince in pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up, ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Howard, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday, I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Tired. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you can tell me more about your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Tired. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire. I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire, like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I could think of one surefire way to find it. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way too drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger. Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. No. Take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sorry, I need another drink. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose crunches up as he begins to breathe quickly. Give him some homework. You reach into your backpack and grab some homework from last semester that you forgot to turn in. Immediately goes for it, gobbles it up. Gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in the world satisfies like ungraded work. My Tired, were you studying something with cinnamon? I've been sitting in on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. Actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Tired, for reminding me to dole out the indispensable bit of wisdom you see. But before we can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. And read by the words. I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? They appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan? J and J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels. Loud ding stops him in his tracks. No amount of seasoning is gonna make me want to eat that Clank. Burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker? Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet. Not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with the shoe. Everyone tries to pretend they didn't see the entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted for what lies ahead. The final competition showdown, challenge exam. Still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches, see you all at the arena. But before you can think of your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud, you don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta. But I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us, and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank, or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheek. I should really review my menu for today. I'm gonna make a very special soup, and I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge, a test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of recipes you've been working on. Tired's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, but you're unable to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Tired, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. Look at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry. The last time you let Colonel Sanders get into your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires. But that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. I'll just fess up, I guess. Okay, you got me. We're doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. It's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No, I could tell it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. Moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays the ground rules. There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up to the cook-off of a lifetime, You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge. God darn it. Meanwhile, both Van Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely preparing to go big going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Sorry. It is hitting 5:30 a.m. I'm like, I need to finish this soon. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. What? Egg wash. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend, but faster blaster. Van Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid. Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Cello personality spatula. Even Clink gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clink learn to speak English? It's the singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spell book out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own. And you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? No, do it the hard way. That's what you're supposed to do. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm gonna do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Tired. Miriam knows this too. And I've always believed in you, Tired, since we were little kids because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice Miriam is at your station cheering for you. What about your dish? If you're here cheering, who is cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up, and where in the world does she get I have newt from? Boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up in a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the spork monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Borko? You're not going to battle me, are you? Not here to battle me, are you? We spork monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off. You have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh hey, you're in the middle of cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. And if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve, the spork monster, notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up. You toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind. I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. You summon extra power from deep within yourself. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange. as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for... Yes, Tired, you are the chosen one, you will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground, energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Tired. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. Sorry, with how much talking we have done today, I'm just kind of reading fast, trying to get through this now. With 2 visual novels now. The Hatoful Boyfriend and now Colonel Sanders. And I guess technically, that demo we played earlier. Already forgot the name. I think it was Replaced. Reading all the text in that one too. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're gonna need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting? If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union. Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. You must now present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop, clank. From off screen, you hear pure, innocent giggling that can only come from one student. I'm flying. Sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. Looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing as how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks. Plank. Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. Only 4 remaining students, please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made tiny udon noodles in savory soup. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny Naruto-maki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish, opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on, I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. They even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with this much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a big hug. Thank you, Tired, for helping me believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell, topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different color type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close enough on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof woof. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Grr. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in tongue first, but can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch, my tongue. The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go silently into the night. Disqualified. Bakalama? Don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley, it's time to step up. If she used magic, is she going to turn into a spork monster? Describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup, topped with French Barangu, and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in your ear or something? Tired? I told you it's a display piece. Actually, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it. It did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. With that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. Two chefs. What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh. I don't have a good feeling about this. But somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing? And completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive, even the Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. I can't talk right now. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed, everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy.
DJ Dog is in the house.
Ow, ow, ow. You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were villains. The hell is this outfit? Like outfit change? For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation is clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's the Spork Monster. He has totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here out, I'd prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking. And you know she's gonna do great. I actually like this outfit. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom, like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who would command such an entrance? It's Pop. He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for a good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father, and we figured it was the least we can do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. So we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Well, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew this the whole time. Now that I have learned the way of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I have just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she has managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand, kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. And he's in a normal outfit? Of course, a white shirt, though. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. Isn't that our mashed potatoes and gravy and coleslaw? The end? No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you, sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Colonel Sanders? Yes, tired? I couldn't help but wonder. Was our final exam team up purely an act of strategy, carried out by two cunning chefs? Or was it something more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this doosey-doo? Colonel Sanders extends his hand to you. You feel a surge of energy jump off the tips of his fingers. His hands, the hand of a master chef, so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender, yet refined, so milky smooth. Milky? Okay. Fingers like finely battered drumsticks, turned in flour, soaked in buttermilk, and dusted with exotic spices. But they do not reach for tongs, a knife, or even a spork. Tonight, they reach for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen as my co-chef and partner in both business and in life? You gasp. Could it be? Is he really saying, me and you, together? Ever since I met you, my dreams have changed. It's not enough to simply open the world's greatest chain of fried chicken restaurants. No, even then my life would be incomplete without you by my side. What do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders. The end. Thank God I'm fucking dying. My voice could not keep doing this. This was definitely a Psyop production to get you to eat more KFC. I am so tired now. But we're gonna end it there. So, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, that is awesome. I hope you have a good rest of your day, your night, your afternoon, your evening, whatever time it is for you. Hope you're making the most out of it. As for me, I'm gonna go to bed. But until next time, good night, everybody.